Jay, I've worked with entrepreneurs that are believers, but I found that when I've done business with them or attempted to, that they can oftentimes play the victim. Have you encountered that as well? And then, what are your thoughts about that? How do we advise them to be better business people?
Get me in trouble. Yeah, I dealt with them people all the time. Believers are funny business people. They're funny people to deal with, because being honest, a lot of them are bad business people, to deal with. Like they're bad when it's time for them to be customers. They're on that side. And then they hold you to the wrath of God when you're doing something with them. You know what I'm saying? So that's a real tough nut to crack. I've run into so many people who are like, oh man, they be church people. They're like, I don't want to do business with the church, because it's that situation. And yeah, I've seen an individual business owner that are believers, and it's always somebody's doing bad business to them. Somebody's always not paying them on time, or never paid them, or left them stranded, left them hanging, left them out in the cold, took everything they had. It was always that. But then, and again, sometimes it's true. But it's really scary when I see them people on the customer side, and they're the ones that are making the late payments, or not paying, or not being good customers to individuals, giving them just as much as hell or more hell than they could have ever mustered up in any of the stories that they told. So those people are plentiful. As far as making them better business people, it don't matter what you believe in. I mean, that's the icing on the cake that you are a believer in God, because that should, take you to another level. But at the surface base, it's good and bad business, for the heathen or the believer. We have things that can, we have a measuring stick, what we call you a good business person or not. And so if, you're a customer and people expect you to pay on time. Another thing is, business owners are customers from time to time. Like, you have vendors too that you have to get your products and your supplies from in order to do your business. So just as well as your customers are treating you away, you shouldn't treat your vendors away. You can't be making your vendors wait on you, because, even if your customers got you waiting, because one thing don't have anything to do with the other. And that's what I think what people lose it at. We're all business people when somebody got to pay us money. But we're not business people, or so they believe, when it's time for us to be on the shoot or be on the other foot. But business is a two-way street. And so we have to be good when we're giving our money, and we got to be good when we're getting other people's money. And, we've all been in those situations, where a vendor had to, be on the back burner or wait a little while. Even vendors understand that. Number one vendor I work with is the United States government. We always waiting on that joker. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I have worked with some amazing, organizations, or county, city, state, federal offices who've given me grace. And that makes for a great business relationship. And so I would tell people that's in that space, especially faith, to extend grace. Because that's where the problem is. Because I think that people, when you present yourself like that, people already come to you a certain kind of way because you say what flag you're flying and a banner that you're holding. So they're going to try their best. The majority of good people are going to try their best to treat you like a child of God in doing business. But they got to look at you sideways when it's time for you to go ahead and be in the shoe on the foot, and you acting like you're not a child of God, and you showing your behind in a different manner, and you're not coming to them with the same integrity, the same high character and high ideals as you want them to come to you at. So, golden rule for my believers, it extends not just in regular life, but then also in entrepreneurship. So keep the golden rule first. And I think that's the first thing you can do to be a better entrepreneur, believer or not.